Okay guys, I'm fixing to get some of this compost to add with some compost from across the road to plant some strawberries. We done that last year. I bought the compost and it was like 3.5 on the pH scale, which is really acid. So I'm kind of done with trying to buy compost unless I'm checking it and I know that it's good. But anyway, this is some compost in this bucket that I made across the road. Now, one of them was, it's a mixture. One of them was all pretty much wood chips with a little bit of food scraps in it. And the other one was a bunch of leaf mold. Well, it's leaf mold now, but it was leaves that I put in a bag and added some food scraps to them. Now, the ones that's got the leaf in it, it's full of worms. There's some worms in the one with the wood chips, but the one in the leaves, there's probably some worms down in there because it was just so many that it was hard for me not to get them. But anyway, this one's also got worms in it, but I'm gonna try not to get any of them. Doesn't mean I won't get any of the castings. Won't mean I won't get any of the babies. But like I said, I'm just gonna get this little scoop and put it in that bucket. And I don't know how well y'all can see this, but I'm trying to get it for y'all. But I also got two other piles, and we're gonna go get some out of that. We moved the chickens, and they're working on another compost pile now, and I made another one in the front. So we're gonna use this. This piece right here is kind of clogged up, so we're just gonna set it over to the side. It's actually a little bit of dirt. Might even be a root. What it looks like. Some of these roots, I don't know what these roots were, but man, some of these roots were like, they just wouldn't compost. They're black, and you can see them right here. They just did not compost very good. So I'm gonna just throw them back out. We'll give them another shot at composting out there. But most of this stuff is really good. And like I said, there definitely is worms in here. This is my older pile, so it's a little bit more broke down. But like I said, these strawberries are not little seeds, so I'm not too worried. I'm gonna mix it with some of the dirt I'm pulling out too. So it's not just gonna be the compost. But last year I put compost in there. It should be bettered by now because I've had other things growing in it. And so we'll mix these two up a little bit. The ones that's already in there. The wood chip and the leaf one from the other side. I have another thing that I bought. There is one thing I did buy, and it is I'm not gonna really call it a compost. I guess it probably is, but they consider it a fertilizer. We moved the chickens, so I'm fixing to replant all of this. But we just moved them yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday, Sunday. Yep, it was yesterday. So this is my other two piles that's been out here. This is the very newest one. So it's the least broke down, but it's still pretty good. And like I said, it's not bad. It's gonna be a little bit more wet if I keep going deeper. So I'm gonna just try to get some of this off the top. We'll get a little bit out of the bottom if we need some moisture. But like I said, this one is definitely still breaking down. Still got like little clumps in it. You can see them right there. But they'll break down pretty easy. They just wet. It's pretty easy to crumble it. It's just kind of matted. But like I said, I'm gonna mix all of this in with some of the other stuff. Like I said, this wet stuff will kind of help with some of the drier stuff that I just put in there. All right, now we're gonna get some of this one too, because this one actually is probably the most broke down, with the most life in it. You see it's broke down really good. but it's a little bit newer, so it might have a little higher life content in it. I know I see bugs in it every now and then running around. It's really good compost. I've planted stuff in this one and it's done really good. I know I made a video of my peas. The only thing, I gave one of them store-bought fertilizer and I gave the other one this compost. And the ones I gave the compost to looked a lot better. And they were planted a lot earlier. And they still looked a lot better. Now, I'm going to mix more, like I said, the dirt that I pull out from where the strawberries are going to go in with this. But I got another bucket. I'm going to put that dirt in. And then I got a third bucket that I'm going to mix it in and put it back. I'm not going to make y'all watch all of this. I'm going to pause it and we're going to get back up there and do some more. Okay, we're going to show y'all this particular little tool. Now this one's called a transplanter, and that's not the one I was using a while ago. I was using the bigger one. I'll let you see the difference between them. This one right here is flatter and wider, and this one's got more of a curve. You can see it right there. It's also a little bit longer, and it's definitely skinnier. So I'm going to actually dig the dirt out with this one where I want to put the strawberries. And this one I just get because it'll grab more because it's a little bit bigger. But I won't be using this one necessarily. I'll use it for mixing and stuff, but this is the one I'll be digging the dirt out with. So this is actually the strawberries right here. There is actually water. Can't see it really good because it's just about gone, but that was pretty much full of water. And they basically say to soak the roots for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, no more than 24. They've been in about 4 hours. So I'm gonna try to get the holes dug, and then I'm gonna put the dirt that I take out into that blue bucket. I have this white bucket to mix the blue dirt and this dirt plus this bag. And this is a Dr. Earth's homegrown organic and natural handcrafted blend. It's tomato, vegetable, and herb. It's probably a little bit lower in nitrogen than what I could have got for this, but I also can use it in others. But it's a 463. They say strawberries need a little bit more nitrogen in the beginning, but I have some fish emulsion and a few other things. Plus, I know there's a lot of nitrogen in this compost I'm putting in here. But one of the reasons I got this one is this right here, which is what I wanted. True, I'm gonna get a close up of that for you. True inside beneficial soil microbes plus mycorrhizal. And I wanted to get that because that's basically the microorganisms that are in my compost also. And that's basically what the plants send out exudates through their roots to get the little small bacteria and fungi to release what's in the soil that they need. It's also bigger microbes that they eat the little bacteria and fungi. And then basically they're really small, but whenever they excrement, whenever they go to the restroom, basically the little microbes stuff is released, and then the plants can take it up. And they put out exudates from the roots, which basically is a lot of people refer to it as cakes and cookies, to wake up the bacteria and the fungi they need. So if they need phosphorus, they're going to wake up microbes that'll eat phosphorus and from the around there and put it out. And then, like I said, once the bigger ones eat them, the little bigger microbes, nematodes is one of them. There's a couple of them. Can't remember them all off the top of my head, but there's at least 3. So they release it. So I'm not gonna go in a whole lot, but that's basically why I bought this, because I know that I have some, like I said, in my compost there's gonna be some microbial life, but in case if that microbial life is a little bit different than what I have, the more you can get, the better. So anyway, that's one of the reasons I bought it. And the other thing that I have, which I am going to add a little bit of, is some this is wood ash from when I burn my things. It's just basically micronutrients. It'll have like calcium. I mean, it might have other things, but it'll have whatever was in the tree when you burned it, any nutrients that it had. There won't be any vitamins probably left in there because that's going to be gone, but Like if there was phosphorus, potassium, one of the things they really call potash is potassium. But it'll have other things. It'll have copper, have all kind of little micronutrients in it. So that's the other reason I'm gonna add a little bit of that. I won't add this into the compost or the dirt I pull out. I'll add a little bit of it in this white bucket whenever I'm mixing the two together. I'll add a little bit of that then and a little bit of this also, and just in this white bucket. I'm not gonna intermix those with anything else. So I'm gonna go over here, like I said, I'm not gonna make y'all watch all of this. I'll let y'all watch a little of it just so y'all can see it again. But this is the plastic that we put down. So all I'm gonna do, I already have the holes. Like I said, it was plants growing here. You see right there was plants. Still are plants growing in here. But it was basically just more or less weeds. So I'm gonna pull, like I said, some of the dirt out of here. I'll let y'all see that. This one's got, probably had an ant bed at one time. Some of these still got active ant beds in it. At least got 2. This is an active ant bed that I'm gonna have to kill before I try to put a plant in there. And then there's another one way down at the end of the bed. I guess we can walk down, won't take but a second. I got leaves in the middle, but this is plastic basically. These actually make good mulch, but that's another active ant bed. So I gotta get rid of that one. But that one's not active. This one's not active. That one's not active anymore. So that one's not active. That one's not active. But actually ants, they eat some of the microbes, and they do a little bit of, they do some good stuff for the soil. But I just don't like fooling with them because they bite me. I'm kind of allergic to them. They make me swell up pretty big. So I'd rather not have them around personally. There's other things that'll do it. Move that stick out of the way. But anyway, all I'm gonna do is take this blue bucket. I guess I can set it right here on top of the row. I'm gonna take this little thing that I talked about. I'm gonna go down here inside this plastic. Just go around it like that. Pull that dirt out. Some of them roots is kind of long, so I'm gonna make some pretty deep holes, and then I'll put the biggest ones in there. You can't really see down in there because I don't have no light on this camera right now. I don't even know how to turn it on with this thing. I mean, I can see it, but I don't know how well y'all can see it. But like I said, I'm just gonna do this one hole, and I'm gonna mix up enough dirt to plant it, and I'm gonna plant this one strawberry. And then like I said, I might do one more just to make it where I got a little bit of dirt and show y'all. But that dirt actually is pretty broke up. It's pretty good. So anyway, we're gonna do one more. I'll make it a little easier. And we'll just go around it. I'm gonna fold this plastic under first. I'm folding it out, making it into a square. It's like, see how this one's on top? All like that. It's hard to get that shovel in there, but if I fold it under, there's a grasshopper. I fold it under like that, and if it'll stay, it makes it a lot easier when I'm trying to go down in there with this thing. To get the dirt out. If I lose a little bit of it, it's okay. I'll try to knock most of it back in there and get it out the next time. But anyway, that's all I'm really doing is just putting it in that bucket. And I'm trying to get these holes fairly deep. But I'll show you, some of them roots on some of them strawberries is pretty deep. And I know somebody said that you can cut them. And I did that last time, but I ain't doing it this time. I don't know if that hurt them or not, so I'm not cutting them this time. I know there's such thing as air pruning, but me cutting them off with a scissor ain't the same as them getting air pruned, so anyway. But I definitely want the roots to hang down. I don't want them to get all bunched up. I don't want them to get root bound. I don't want them to be folded underneath. I want them to all hang down. So a couple of these definitely gonna have to be kind of deep. So I know there's quite a few of them. There's at least 6 or 7 of them that got really long roots. And like I said, I may not use Trying to keep this in focus for y'all. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, now I might need to make them a little bit bigger. That's okay. I can leave this. Put more dirt back in here. We'll bring it over here now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this dirt, which actually doesn't look too bad personally. I mean, I know it's got sand in it because I had sand in it last time. So it doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. I'll use the other scooper. I'm gonna just go lay this one back over here just so I'll know where it's at when I get ready for it. And you need this little extra dirt. I'll just move it to the side. I can get it up later. When I get ready to do that third hole over there, I can just get that then. So I don't need that one right now. So like I said, this is just mostly what I'm gonna do for right now. I can make more of it up at another time, but basically I'm gonna get one scoop of this. I mixed it up pretty good a while ago, but I'm gonna try to go down and get it from underneath, just to make sure I get some of the wood pieces too. Because strawberries actually grow in the woods, and it's another thing I figured out. So they actually kind of like more ammonia type soil. Now, I know I'm putting more of this old soil back in there because it's pretty good anyway, and I'm not trying to make it 100% compost. So, if I have any of this soil left over when I get done, which I will, I'll definitely have to have some if I'm adding this to it in with it, and I ain't taking it out, I'm definitely gonna have to have more. Now this right here, you're gonna see it's not gonna be much. So all I'm doing, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna just take, you can see it's just a little light dusting. I'm kind of just mix that in. All I'm really trying to make right now is enough soil to fill up the 3 holes I just made. So I get this thing over this bucket a little bit. Y'all might can actually see me mixing it. Okay. Now I'm gonna pause it because it's gonna be harder for me to open up this bag. Okay, so I just opened up the bag, and you can kind of see what it looks like. It kind of looks like a little bit of sand, a little bit of potash, and a little biochar, and a few other things. I have some biochar that's going to go in here too. I have to go get it. But that's all I'm going to put of this. That's it. Just like the other. Like I said, I'm not really trying to use this for anything special other than just some of the microbes if they're good. And I forgot to get the biochar, so we'll pause it one more time and we're going to get that. And then I'll show you how much of that I'm going to add also. And like I said, we'll go from there, and then I'll plant these 3, and I'm gonna stop this one. And like I said, I'll show y'all later once I get them all planted. I'm not sure how well it shows up, if y'all can see the green tint to that soil or not. And then you can kind of see the compost kind of stuff over here. Well, this is my charcoal that I'm gonna get. And I'm gonna call it charcoal. I said biochar a while ago, but I'm gonna call it charcoal right now. Because biochar basically is charcoal that's been inoculated with nutrients. If you just throw charcoal in your I'm trying to let y'all see what I'm doing. I'm actually scraping some of the biochar or the charcoal, some of the compost stuff. So I'm just getting a little scoop of it. I'm gonna get a little bit more in my hand, and I'll probably just get a little bit out of there. I'll crush that up. I don't know how much more it can hold. May have to make 2 scoops. I didn't have another bucket. I thought I did, but that's my little trial thing. So if it's inoculated, most people call it biochar. If it's charcoal, there's activated charcoal, and then there's charcoal, and then there's biochar. And a lot of people just call charcoal biochar. But from what I'm watching and understanding, like I said, I haven't looked at a dictionary, but I've listened to some pretty educated people, and they only consider it biochar once it's been inoculated. Before it's been inoculated, they consider it either charcoal, active charcoal, and there's two different ways of making it. And one way is a little bit better, has more hollow structure. This was not made that way. This was actually made, I'm not gonna put all this in here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. I'm gonna have to find something to put the rest of it in. Alrighty. Oh well, you know what? I got some cups over here. They got holes in the bottom, but if I take them out, you can see they got holes in them. But if I turn the holes to where they don't line up completely, like, I don't know how well y'all can see them, but the holes are pretty much lined up like that. What I'm gonna try to do is rotate them to where they ain't lined up as well. So they're partly covered. A little bit harder to do with this camera in my hand. Kind of need both of them. And I got another one over here. I figure if I can line it up off center one more time, it'll hold it pretty good. It ain't gonna be perfect, but it'll hold it somewhat until I go back and get the next one. Okay, so now we got one more ingredient to mix in here. And I don't think that's gonna be enough dirt. So what I'm gonna end up doing is taking one more scoop out of here. And one more scoop out of here. I guess if I got any left over, it won't matter. So I'm gonna get one more scoop out of here. That may be enough. I guess we'll find out. But as you can see, some of these strawberries, they got some pretty long roots. Okay, I don't know how to show you them. Okay, I'm gonna bring it over there where it goes, and then we'll stick it in the ground. But I'll show you with that spade over there. It's got a 4-inch, I think it's a 4-inch, it might be a 5-inch measurement on it. So, but I'll lay that down there. This is what they call the crown, pretty much right here. I'm holding it with my thumb. That's pretty much what the crown is. The crown is pretty much right underneath my thumb. So I'll move it. It's gonna be hard to tell you, but the roots kind of come out of it. So you can see where they're starting to come out. So that's the crown right there, the bottom of it. So that's what I need to plant to. I need to keep this above the ground, but not way above the ground. But you can see how long the roots are. Now let me see, this trowel, or this transplant, this is not a trowel, this is a transplant. So I don't know how long the whole thing is, but you can see it says 4 inches right here. And from there to there is 3 inches, so about there is 5 inches. So it's almost 6 inches long. And you can see I can lay that down about next to the roots. And the roots are sticking past it. That's why I was saying I was going pretty deep. Because I'm trying to get these roots to where when I put them in here, they're not bound up. I want to keep the crown right up here at the top, but I want the roots not to be bound. So I'm going to lay it just like that. I'll put a little on this side. I'll put it back the other way. And I'll put some more on each side. That's what I'll keep doing. I'll just go around it like that. So I'm still going to probably use this one just to get a little bit out with. But like I said, it just holds more dirt, the bigger one. So we're just going to put a little bit of dirt on this side. We're going to flip it back the other way. And now it's got an opening on the back side. And we'll drop a little dirt down in there. I'm going to lean it to that way. And I'll drop dirt in that corner. I'll lean it over. And we're supposed to get rain tomorrow later. And I'll put dirt on this side. what I'll do is just straighten it up a little bit. Still not quite holding up, so we'll just do the same thing. We'll put a little bit more dirt on that side. We'll lean it over, and if I have to, we'll use that to hold it up. It didn't really, it popped out from underneath it still. But with this one, I can actually get it in there a little bit easier. Let y'all see me getting it out of the bucket. Not that it probably matters to y'all. Alright, let me get this over here out the way. That one's just about right, and if it ain't right, I can always pull it up. It's a lot harder to get it in there deeper. But if it's a little too low, I can always pull it up and tamp the dirt down. I can pull this up. That's a stick, so we just gonna throw that away. So, y'all look down in this hole. Oop, like I lost the bucket. That's why I like the other one. This one don't hold hardly no dirt. So, all that little dirt that I filled up in there ain't gonna hardly make a difference. But I'm gonna try to pack it around. Going back to the other one. I was trying to use that bigger one to actually hold the plant over. Sorry guys, this is a lot easier when Stacy's over here helping, but she had to work today, so. Alright, so that's the crown. I can feel it right there. And I'm gonna pull it up because I'm gonna put just a little bit more dirt. I want to mound this up just a little bit to help out for water, so it'll go back down. I can always build it up higher. Oh man. But anyway, this should be the last scoop. And what I'm gonna do with this is push it around it and tamp it down. Just gonna tamp it down with my hand as I push it around. Bring it right up to the bottom of the crown. Tamp it down. And this will help with it being a little bit higher but still having dirt around it for it to drain better. The compost should hold water pretty good. The sand should help it to drain, so it shouldn't get too boggy. But anyway, we're gonna see how these work out. Hopefully they work out a lot better than last year. Last year I got a couple of strawberries and then they all died. So I think probably one of these is enough for y'all to watch. It's already 27 minutes long, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause it like I said, and I'll show y'all when I get the rest of them done, just so y'all can see the row. Guys, I was gonna set the camera down, but one of the things I was gonna show y'all, because I showed y'all this, well, I don't even know if y'all seen